Dzień dobry, YouTube, Tommy, to another episode of Atticus Eats. Welcome back, my dear friends. I now present myself as Atticus, well-groomed and kept. And my dear friends, oh my goodness, we are back in the Hobbitmobile again, and we have jaunted to discover a place. And actually, when I say discover, I didn't know that there was one of these near me, and then through Googling realized that there was one within driving distance. And so I made my way down to a burger joint. This is a relatively new burger joint for me, but not for many of you. And actually, what's really cool is this is probably by far now, because I've waited so long to go to one of these, it's probably by far the most requested burger joint that I have had here on the channel as a burger joint to try, and I'm very happy to present it to you all today. My dear friends, today we are going to be trying out Five Guys burgers. I have heard a lot of positivity stemming from all of you who have recommended Five Guys to me regarding Five Guys burgers. And so I thought, you know what, today is the day. Let's go ahead and head on down and find this place, and once we do, procure some victuals and sustenance. So very excited to be trying this with you all today, my dear friends. I actually am so thrilled because I have actually had Five Guys burgers before, but it was many, many moons ago. In Florida is when I had it for the first time, and I had it exactly once, and I have never had it since. And so this is definitely a special treat. I'm going to be sharing some stories with you all from my childhood years, but because I did mention Florida, and Florida is going to be kind of a topic of discussion for me in today's video, I do want to reach out to all of you amazing Floridians who are down there, and you all have just absolutely been through the ringer, as well as really the entire southeast of the United States. I know that there are many states, many communities within those states that are still reeling from Hurricane Helene, and my heart goes out to every single one of you, and I wish you all so well. And I want you to know that I myself, my family, and all of my friends in my community, we have been praying for you all who have been affected by this hurricane, but we're also continuing to pray for all of you down in Florida. At the time of this recording, the new hurricane that's coming through, I don't know the name of this one exactly, but you all know that is impending. It's still impending at this point, at time of recording, but please know that you are all continuing to be in my thoughts and my prayers, and that of my family and my friends. So you are very much cared for. You are most certainly not forgotten, and I wish you all so well with this, and hope it all just goes smoothly and there's not a lot of damage or loss of life or injury. And so, my dear friends, on that note, let us sup together. And they gave me a ton of napkins, which is good, very thick napkins. Actually, kind of flimsy, it's just there's a lot of them. But now I'm looking right away here at these French fries, and I thought it was really cool. You all saw in the B-roll that began this, that they have their bags of spuds that have been specially selected to be French fries, chilling in the middle of the restaurant, and I thought that was very cool. This is a restaurant that for once there was actually other people in there besides me ordering food, so hopefully that's a good sign. But I try to keep them out of the shots out of respecting other people's privacy. So I do that as much as possible. But there were other people there this time, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, Nazdrovia, let's try one of these fries here. They look a little burnt, just saying. They're not burnt at all. Oh, wow. Very good. Those are pretty good. I need to eat them more before I start giving an opinion. Now, I am already disappointed though in Five Guys, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I asked them for a side of ranch with my fries, and the dude looked at me like he was terrified, and he said, I'm so sorry, sir, we don't have ranch here. And I stared at him, and a brain cell did commit seppuku. But then I recovered, and I go, well, wait, do you have ketchup? And he goes, yeah, we have ketchup. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a side of ketchup then, thank you. So I have a side of ketchup for my fries, and hopefully that bodes well. Oh, the fries are in a cup. Okay. Well, I can't show you guys the fries because the fries are in a cup. And number one, I have nowhere to put them. And number two, they'll probably fall everywhere if I try to pull them out. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's actually kind of good though. It'll keep them warm. Oh yeah, they're all over the bottom of the bag. There's no ease of this in any way whatsoever. They're good. They're better than In-N-Out fries. I can tell you that with certainty. It's interesting to me too. So as I was looking up Five Guys in anticipation of this video today, and I was looking at their menu, it seems to me that their big thing is that they cook everything with peanut oil as opposed to other oils. I know that seed oil is actually very bad for you, objectively. And my mom has been doing some research on that recently. I'm not too sure where peanut oil lands on that spectrum, but my first thought in my head was like, okay, cool, so if I have a peanut allergy, I can't go here. Like, for anything, at all. So that's really kind of interesting to me. Definitely a bold move doing something like that, as far as a fast food restaurant. However, apparently, this is a ridiculously popular burger joint. And it's like worldwide. It's not just in America. I was seeing here on the cup for my drink, this is Five Guys. On the back here it has reviews and it's talking about news agencies in the UK and Dublin, I think. So, very interesting for sure. By the way, today for my drink, they had one of those really cool Coca-Cola machines that have a whole bunch of different drinks. It's very hot again. Shocking. It's like triple digits. It's 94 here in the shade right now, but it's gonna get up to like 103 today, in October. And so I got myself a cooling beverage. I decided to go with Minute Maid Peach Lemonade, and this is absolutely delicious. Na zdrowie. Oh yeah. Very good. Very good. A little bit of that bright peach taste. Kind of reminds you of autumn, but it's really cool and refreshing too. It's really good. It's really good. So I decided to go with a little burger today because I wasn't ravenous and I really wanted to kind of get a taste of everything. Plus it's cheaper. Another con right out of the gate is that the Stand, the Habit, and many other burger joints are far cheaper than Five Guys is. A little burger, which everything is a la carte, by the way. A little burger, a regular fry. No, that's a little fry, which they gave me a lot of fries, to be fair. But a little burger, a little fry, and a regular sized drink, $19 and change. I will not be taking a date here anytime soon, that's for sure. But for all of you guys, and we get to experience it together, let's enjoy it together. Oh, all right. So I got a little burger, and I do appreciate the fact that they let you put on whatever you want. I really do appreciate that. This is cool. So this looks like a burger, like if I were to make burgers at home, this is more accurate as to what my burgers would look like. But I cherish that they have sesame seed buns. That's very cool. I decided to go with the burger just cooked all the way through, with pickles, because that's very important, a little bit of lettuce, because we're healthy, and ketchup and mustard. So, plain Jane, standard issue, almost $10 burger. Let's go for it. Na zdrowie. Okay, that's really good. Wow. Okay. For a hamburger, That is very good. Cooked through. Not mealy, but it's not grizzly either. At least on that first bite. Everything tastes bright and fresh. And this bun is terrifically soft. Not burnt at all. Not like hard or crusty. Really nice right out of the gate. Not stingy on any of the condiments, which I very much appreciate. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my goodness. I think I need to give one big long thank you note to everybody in the chat who recommended Five Guys to me. Wow. Alrighty. I see you, Five Guys. I really don't even know what the Five Guys, who the Five Guys are. Like, apparently they're this penta ad instead of a triad of geniuses who know how to make burgers. I'll take it. First thing to comment down below, everyone, as we're continuing our burger adventures together. Do you have a Five Guys near you? And what is your opinion of it? And also, are they this expensive where you are? Or is this California stuff again? Right? Is this a California thing again? Tell me. I'm curious. I'm genuinely shocked at how good this is. Those fries, from what I'm tasting thus far, are okay. I definitely have way more favorite fries from other locations. I'm finding these to be very soggy. I don't know. I guess I'm looking for more of like a fluffy steak fry kind of consistency, where it's still firm and has that crunch on the exterior, but then it's soft on the interior. These today are very flimsy, very flabby, very drenched and oily. They're not nearly as bad as the Fishtail X fries. Those are the worst fries I've had on this series of videos. These are not anywhere near that, but they're definitely not anywhere near being the best. I think right now, my absolute favorite French fries, excuse me, that I have had on camera with you all are actually the sweet potato fries from the stand. Those were like absurdly amazing, right? And so I'm kind of looking for that level. And then of course the other side that was life-giving were the tempura green beans from the Habit. These are not coming anywhere. They're not cutting that mustard, if you catch my drift, you know what I mean? Now the burger, on the other hand, this is really good. This is really, really good. I got mustard on my shirt. No. Wow. You guys. I'm actually surprised. I'm really genuinely surprised at how good this burger was. Especially because it's a burger that you can get cooked to order the way that you want it, right? That definitely was way better than like Carl's Jr. or Burger King or like the fast food burgers, which even then, man, you know, it really depends on the day. That's the beautiful thing about food, and I'm sure that many of you will agree with me, that the beauty about food and the fact that we genuinely do have the gift here in like the Western world of being able to pick what we want to eat when we want to eat it, and it's just ready on demand. You know, that is a gift. I know full well that there are not many people who have that opportunity, and that's why you see me expressing so much gratitude number one, at the fact that I can even choose what I want to eat and when I want to eat it at all. But even more that I do get to share it with all of you. And you guys, by watching these videos, support and encourage me to do something that I already love doing, which is adventuring around and trying, new foods. But point in me saying that is the fact that it really depends on the day. There are just some days where, like, a Dave single from Wendy's sounds absolutely sublime. Or going to the Habit and you get the burger, but it's mostly because, like for me in my case, I want to get the tempura fried green beans, and then that's a beautiful thing to experience, right? So, you know, it's all very interesting, and it's all like kind of taste bud dependent on what you want. But I believe I can safely say this burger today, without any hesitation, second guessing, or anything like that, taste, texture, all of the ingredients, the pieces, presentation, everything, that burger is probably, I would rate, an 8.5 out of 10 burger. And dare I say, definitely one of the top 3 best burgers that we have had here on the Atticus Eats series. So, I do highly, as far as flavor, recommend the burgers at Five Guys Burgers. My one qualm is how expensive it is. Because that burger by itself, if I just wanted to walk in and get that burger, I'm still shelling out $9 and change. And, you know, in theory, and I'm not even getting a drink included or anything. In theory, you know, I could go to Wendy's and get a biggie bag and get arguably more food for less money. Or approximately the same amount of money. So, you know, that's kind of the way of, well, how much do you really want to treat yourself today and not eat a lot, but you're eating something that tastes really good? That's kind of the trade-off you have to consider when going to Five Guys. It was also really cool, too, because peanuts is their thing, the peanut oil. I couldn't hear the guy because they have the music so loud in there. After he completed my order, he pointed at something and he said, something right over here. And I go, oh, okay, thank you. I thought he meant like drinks or something. And I started walking by and I realized he was pointing at a box. And actually, with every order, if you want, you can dish yourself out some peanuts in a little box that you can have as like an appetizer while you wait for your food. I thought that was pretty cool too. So if you really love peanuts and you want to do the work to unshell some peanuts to have as a snack, in theory, that's included with every meal. And so I could get a burger and then get a big scoop full of peanuts to have as a side. Because, like, obviously that goes together, right? I have my fry bag in my lap. I want to be able to eat it. That way I can eat through my $4 and change that these fries cost. Yeah, these are so soggy. You guys, like, keeping them in the bag too probably wasn't the best idea, but yeah, you know what? I can't eat these. No. Way too soggy. These fries are not bueno. And they're really, like, it's obvious that they're soggy because, I mean, look at this bag. The burger was wrapped up and you saw the burger. The burger was not dripping with grease. These fries are. Alright. So, I definitely think it's kind of official. The burger at Five Guys is definitely where it's at. Excuse me. The burger at Five Guys is definitely where it's at. That burger genuinely, it's like I said, that's an 8.5 out of 10 burger. Those fries, 3.5 out of 10. Way too soggy. That is not how I personally like a fry. If it is your take on a fry, if that's what you like, awesome. Then you will probably love these fries. If you like your fries really soggy and flappy, you'll definitely like these fries. But if you're like me and you want more of a dry, fluffy, crunchy fry, then these are not for you at all. So for me, according to my taste and in my humble opinion, as just a random hobbit that has come across your computer or phone screen, I am definitely rating those fries at a 3.5 out of 10. But Peach Minute Maid Lemonade, definitely a solid 7 out of 10. If you like peach or fruity flavored things. Very cool and refreshing. So, story time, cool people. So this was really cool. I've had a couple of times in my life where I was able to do some incredibly exciting, fun, unique things. And it was in relation to the show and to my work. But it was more fun and more jovial. And you all remember I've spoken in the past about when my mom and we got to go to Washington, D.C. because I was the Grand Marshal for the Cherry Blossom Festival Parade. And the thing is, you guys, is in this industry, especially when you have notoriety, you know, there's a lot of times, there's a lot of times where companies will hook you up and, like, fly you out to where they are. But the trade-off is you're working for them and you're doing something like a publicity thing of some sort or an interview or whatever that will end up benefiting them. And it was so funny for me when I learned that was true. When I was able to go to the Washington, D.C. for that trip, it was very clear and explained to me that, hey, you know, the whole purpose is to do all the publicity that benefits everybody involved. It benefits the show because you're publicizing the show, but then it also benefits these organizations that you're working with. You know, it's something amazing for the country with the Cherry Blossom Festival Parade and whatever. It was knowing that that was a job first, and then my mom had spoken with some of the other people, and then we ended up making it into kind of a workcation. So I work first, and then we got to vacation and adventure around and see all these different areas in the East Coast, which I'm thankful that I did, because a lot of that is different now. And what ended up happening, though, is I had the opportunity to witness the construction of Legoland in Florida. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge Lego nerd. I think Legos are so ridiculously awesome and cool. I got into them when I was like 9 or 10, and I just was in love with them ever since. I would do stop motion animations with my Legos, with my minifigures. You know, I enjoyed the sets and the different lore and the different Lego video games and all the other stuff. Now, because of, you know, time restraints and monetary restraints, I really am not getting into Legos as much as I used to, but I still have all my Legos from when I was a kid because I love them. And I just think they're such a cool collectible and hobby. Well, when I was younger, you know, as far as amusement parks, I'm not really a big amusement park person. The two that I loved growing up were SeaWorld and Legoland. And going to Legoland when I was really young was really cool. Unfortunately, again, it was one of those times where my mom made it awesome, but then the other person that we were with in the equation was a douchebag and made it not fun. So those vacations could have been more fun than they were. And this is Legoland down in San Diego in California. Well, what ended up happening is Legoland Florida was being constructed. It was about 3 or 4 months away from being complete and them doing the grand opening. And what ended up happening is, because I was so public about my love for Legos, the people down there in Legoland Florida, they wanted to bring me out to show me the construction of Legoland Florida. And it was this beautiful opportunity. But what was funny is that they were presenting it as, we want you to just come out and we want you to enjoy yourself. You and your mom, obviously, we're going to set you up and it's going to be just an amazing, amazing time. We want you to have fun. And we were thinking, oh my goodness, you know, how generous of these people, these official Legoland people. That's incredible. And we were really jazzed about that. And so my mom and I, we set everything up and worked with them on getting ourselves out there. And so I was able to go to Legoland Florida to witness its construction. And it's really cool. They allowed me to place a miniaturized figure. So not an actual minifig, but a miniaturized figure. It's made out of multiple different Lego pieces of brick from the show in the little small USA, the miniaturized USA that they have, or miniaturized world that they have in Legoland, because they have scaled down versions of major locations throughout the world built in Lego. And so what I did, because I was able to go to the Statue of Liberty when I was very young, is I had the guy place me on the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. And you can tell it's me because it's the only miniaturized figure that is there on the Statue of Liberty. And that was a really, really, really cool time. And what ended up making it really funny is when we got there and we started to tour Legoland Florida, all of a sudden there were all of these different cameras and stuff there. And they were recording me and like interviewing me and asking me questions and whatever. And I'm not bad-mouthing them. I'm not, because this was such a fun, interesting opportunity. But what ended up happening is they were like trying to get stuff out of me, and I didn't know what to say because I was not prepared for anything. I wasn't prepared for, oh, you're wanting me to work. This isn't just you doing this because you just want to. And that's what made it kind of like, And so what ended up happening is at the end of the first day, they were getting us back to the car where the driver was. And they were kind of sitting there and like, okay, so yeah, we know that this is the first day, but we really need you to express more and say more things and articulate yourself better and blah, blah, blah. And my mom and I looked at each other and we were like, what? That's not what you guys said when we came out here. We didn't know that this was like work. And so what ended up happening, and this is where again, everyone, you need advocates and people having your back in this industry. And my mom was that for me. Because the next day, my mom, in a very strong way, but a very professional and a very wise way, she broke things down with me and was like, okay, look, this is the way that it is. We understand this now because they didn't tell us this before. And you're going to just be yourself, but they clearly want you to say more and emote and whatever. So we'll do that. And we went back and my mom sat all of them down. It was like 4 different people. And sat all of them down and was like, listen, this is not what we were told this was going to be. We thought you guys were just being like, this is just a vacation that you're giving us because you like the show. We did not know that it was work. So as of what yesterday was, sorry, but we weren't told. But, you know, my son is here now. He's very passionate about this. Please understand where we're both coming from. And, Atticus, do you want to keep doing this? Yeah, Mom, I do. No, everyone, I do. This is fun. I'm grateful for this opportunity. And what do you need from me? Kind of deal, right? And so we ended up navigating it and working through it. And they even did stuff to me too. And this is a huge pet peeve of mine. Is they say, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. But they were telling us stuff as it was happening. There was no previously formed itinerary. So they started to get stuff like out of thin air. And then be like, oh, you're doing this now. And we would be like, wait. What? No, you need to explain that to me. What are we doing? I'm going into a construction zone? Okay, why? You know, and how? And is it safe? You know, things like that. So these are all the different things that people do not know about in this industry. When you see celebrities going somewhere, and you think, oh my gosh, yeah, they got the biggest hookup ever, why can't I be like them? No. It's work. It's work. There just happens to be some semi-nice things going into it, but it's still work, right? You're still performing. So that's a real thing. But anyway, the long and the short of this is that was like a 3-day long excursion. And the entire time, though, when we were down in Florida for that excursion, which this was before Disney World, but it was after, excuse me, it was before the Disney World episode, but it was after, like, season 2 or something like that of the show. It was one of those things where we had a driver who is, to this day, probably one of the nicest drivers I've ever had in my life, working in the industry. He was so incredibly kind, very, very calm, definitely a peaceful energy going into this. And he was so nice because after the first day, the first or the second day, like, my mom and I both said, okay, we're really hungry, and, you know, we don't want to just sit at the hotel and eat hotel food. Hey, can you make any recommendations for us? And the place that he recommended was Five Guys Burgers. And it was not anywhere near where we were in California yet. And so we were like, oh, this is really new and nice. And would you believe that the guy was so kind, the driver was so kind that he treated my mom and I to burgers at Five Guys Burgers. And I thought that that was so incredibly nice, so incredibly stand-up. And I've had that in my life. I've had a whole multitude of different drivers for, like, publicity events. Like this. Whenever we would go to New York to travel to New York for publicity stuff, go to New York to travel to New York. Pardon me. The burger is lulling me into a food coma. I apologize. Hold on. Whenever we would travel, like going to New York for the publicity gambit after every season of The Middle, or even just going down to Los Angeles to do Jimmy Kimmel Live, or go to the Paley Center, or Conan, or something like that, there would always be a driving company that would do the driving. And there have been a lot of different times where I had drivers that were just kind of like they were not personable at all, you know, or they were overly personable. Lead foot while driving, absolutely terrible at driving, made me nauseous, totally dropped the ball on us. I have a bunch of horror stories about that, but I can count at least on one hand, probably on two hands, the amount of drivers that I've had in my life who were just these really awesome, real, kind people with stories. And just listening to them speak and hearing their stories was so incredible. It was really amazing to be able to hear. And you know what? Comment down below. There, you know, if that's something that's of interest that you all would like to hear, like the different stories of different drivers that I've had throughout my life. I would love to relive that with all of you because I want to give these people credit. Unfortunately, I don't remember all of their names. I remember their faces. But it would be, if that's something you all want to hear in subsequent videos as like story time, I think that would be really cool. Technically, we're starting it today because I'm speaking about the very kind driver that we had in Florida that bought my mom and I Five Guys Burgers. So, haven't had Five Guys since then. That's at least probably 12 years ago, I want to say, at least. So, 12 years later, being able to have Five Guys Burgers with you all again, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And while we're at it, my dear friends, let's go ahead. We're going to answer one question from the YouTube comment section, since I did elaborate so much on my story today. Let's go ahead. We're going to answer this one because this is a fun one, and actually it'll be a good tie-in to my something else I want to talk with you guys about. But Cuckoo Clock Princess 557 on YouTube says, question: as a fellow video game lover, what would be a great game that you would recommend? Excellent question, Cuckoo Clock Princess. But of course, as you know, if you are a video game lover, there are just so many different answers to that question. It depends on what console you have. So I am both a PlayStation guy as well as a PC gamer. I primarily do PC gaming, but I love my PlayStation 5 and my exclusives the PlayStation exclusives. And so it's one of those situations where it depends on what console you have. If you have a PlayStation, then you should already know the glory of story-driven games that are available on PlayStation. The one that's kind of a universal one that I think everybody really would just enjoy would 100% be the God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok games. That duo of games is hands down two of my absolute most favorite story-driven games of all time. The messaging in it, the stories, the fact that you're not really fighting humans, you're fighting like monsters and, you know, dragons and draggers, and which are like ghouls and things like that, makes it really, really cool. And the scenes, the script writing, the cinematography, the soundtrack, oh my goodness, everything is just absolute top tier. And especially if you can get them on sale, like with Black Friday coming up here, if you can score those, amazing, amazing finds right there. If you're a PC gamer, there's so many different options that you can find, especially on Steam, because Steam has so many good sales all the time. You know, there's any number of different games that you can get and really, really, really enjoy. It depends on what genre you like. My two that I would recommend is if you are a zombie video game, zombie survival fan, I would definitely recommend a video game called 7 Days to Die, which is it's pretty much Minecraft, but a little bit more realistic graphics, and you get to fight pretty much zombies. It's just fighting zombies exclusively. You get attacked by a horde of zombies every 7 days. That's why they call it 7 Days to Die. You get to just explore derelict cities and neighborhoods, and, you know, you scavenge for things, and then you try to build a fort, and then you want to try to fight against the zombies. And that's really cool, like, open world. That's always going to be a different playthrough every time, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a very fun option. The other option would be something called Escape from Tarkov, which if you're if you're into the tactical first-person shooter, you know, I'm gonna do some awesome commando wizardry, but it's hyper-realistic, get into Escape from Tarkov. And if any of you watching are video game nerds, tell me right now what would be the video games you would recommend to someone who was already a video game lover, but maybe wanted something different to get into. Tell me down below. I'm curious to see what you all would say. But my dear friends, on the note of video games, please be sure to scroll down, go into the description bar box thing below, and check out the two links that I have there. I have a link to my Twitch channel, and I have a link to my Cameo page. Cameo is a great way to support me if you want to support the work that I do content creation-wise here on YouTube and on Twitch. Definitely consider booking a Cameo from me. Also, though, on my Twitch, for those of you who don't know, I am a Twitch streamer. I go live on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific. And if you all don't mind, I actually kind of want to do a call for help, a rally to my banner, if you will. On my Twitch, I am so incredibly grateful that at the time of this recording, I am at 6,900 and change followers on Twitch. I would love to be able to see me surpass 7,000. So if you would do me a solid and share this video, which has the link in the description box below to my Twitch screen, or my Twitch channel, please share that with everybody that you know who is either a gamer or wants to be a part of a positive community and have some fun fellowship. Make up a Twitch account for free and go ahead and follow me on Twitch. That is also completely free to do. You're pretty much adding a channel like on a Roku stick is what you're doing by following me on Twitch, but you're not having to pay for anything. It's totally free to you, but it helps me out a ton as far as my numerics for building my Twitch channel and getting me in front of other people, even on that platform as well. So please help me out, help me reach 7,000. My goal has been kind of to reach 7,000 by the end of October. So if you can help me out, that would do me a huge, huge solid, and I would appreciate you all very much. Hit that thumbs up button on this video today, friends. Like I said, share this video on all your social media and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube if you haven't done so already, as well as follow me on Twitch. That helps me out a ton. Comment down below with your thoughts. I hope you all are having an amazing day, weekend, and week ahead of you. Be well, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Do widzenia.
I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time, something I look back and say that was a great time, cause man I just hate when the years pass by the wayside.